Hello and welcome inside the ACU TV or studio. I'm Jalen Ward alongside Will Dalton. This is the Optimist Newscast. Monday was the start of Holy Sexuality Week here on campus. Chapels around this topic are happening at the normal chapel hour, but students can attend some evening sessions. There are multiple speakers talking about this issue, and it started on Monday with Phil and Brooke Schubert. The additional speakers invited have been Chris Seidman, Mo Isam-Atkins, and Christopher Yoon. Multicultural Week is happening on November 13th through 17th. This event is brought together by the Office of Internal Students and Visiting Scholars and the Office of Multicultural Affairs. Some events that will take place include an international student panel in the Adams Center, a cross-cultural connections chapel, and an International Student Day celebration. A multicultural silent disco will also take place with the help of the International Student Association, African Student Association, and CAP. Several student organizations produced Ethnos, a multicultural showcase this past weekend. Shelby Bird has more on this event.
The International Students Association held its 31st annual Ethnos last weekend. Ethnos, the largest event of the year for ISA, is a multicultural show where students from various countries around the world perform musical and dance pieces that showcase their cultures and heritage. The theme of this year's Ethnos was Echoes, representing students' ancestry and the many individuals that came before them to shape their culture and make them who they are today. This year, the show had more acts than ever before, with 16 different student groups performing. Eva Carrillo, president of ISA, told us about her experience not only directing, but also performing in the show.
I did a lot for Ethnos. As the ISA president, I had to, just direct other officers and volunteers and act leaders, but getting to be in an act and just also seeing it from the side of act leader or director was quite an experience, quite a stressful one as well, but I wanted to showcase my culture as well. It's a fun thing to do, and I hope other international students get the urge to do this. We, as international students, like my other international friends, we joke around and we say that this is like this sing-song or follies of the international students because we get to portray our cultures.
The International Students Association, along with other student organizations, will be back next week as the Office of Multicultural Affairs hosts its annual Multicultural Week. I'm Shelby Bird for The Optimist reporting.
Thanks, Shelby. The final home football game will take place this weekend. With more on the sports is Will. Will?
Football grabbed a big win on Saturday as the Wildcats took down Utah Tech 24-7. The win brings the Wildcats' season record to 5-4 with a 3-2 conference record. The Wildcats are back at home this week when they take on Tarleton at 2 p.m. Saturday's matchup will be the final conference game and home game this season for the Wildcats. Both men's and women's basketball teams began their new seasons on Monday, and both teams came out with a win. The men pulled off a huge upset in Stillwater and took down Oklahoma State in a final score of 64-59. Despite a late comeback from the Cowboys, the Wildcats were able to hold on to a lead they held for over 36 minutes to seal the game. The Wildcats find themselves in yet another tough challenge as they head to Raleigh to take on NC State at 6 p.m. on Friday. The women took down Southwestern Assemblies of God University in a final score of 77-52. Freshman guard Peyton Hull led the way for the Wildcats, scoring 14 points off the bench with 3 three-pointers. The Wildcats return to action on Thursday when they host Rice at 7 p.m. Volleyball split 2 games last week, taking down Cal Baptist on Thursday 3-2 to end a 4-game losing streak, but then fell to Grand Canyon in a sweep on Saturday. The Wildcats face their last week of regular season play this week as they head to Edinburgh to take on UTRGV at 2 p.m. on Saturday and then come back home on Monday to take on Tarleton at 6 p.m. in the final game of the season.
That's all for this week's Optimist Newscast. I'm Jalen Ward.
And I'm Will Dalton. Thanks for tuning in.